Hello, everybody, and welcome to the beer garden. We have Charene, we have Steve. Unfortunately, no Joe today, but that's all right. We have an incredible 11 race card at Sha Tin this week with 3 Group 1s. We're very excited, and we're going to bring you our picks to cover, of course, the 3 Group 1s, but also our best bets and our value bets. And I feel like we have you covered for most of the races on the card, so we'll be giving out some really good picks. But let's start off. We'll go to race 6, which is the first Group 1 of the card, and that's the Group 1 Chairman's Sprint. So it's 1,200 meters. Steve, would you like to start us off with your pick?
Yeah, I went for number 2, Wellington. Maybe not the most original choice, but he's in the form of his life. He won the Sprint Cup last time, and he beat everyone in this field, bar, who did he beat? The only one he didn't beat was Skyfield. Skyfield wasn't running there. He beat everyone else. And with the exception of Stronger, who he meets on the same terms, every other horse is worse off by £5. So really, there's no reason why Wellington shouldn't run well. He's drawn in 9. I'd be more concerned if it was a 9-runner field. I never like a horse that's actually drawn on the wing. But there is 11 runners, and Alexi Bedell, I was listening to him today, has no concerns. He's an adaptable horse. You can hold him up. You can bring him with a wide run late on. I think he's got every chance. And he's just coming here on, as I say, in the form of his life. And I think there's question marks about some of the other horses. Master 8, Joe Moreira switches. He leaves that one. He goes on to Hot King Prawn. And yeah, for me, the percentage call is to go for Wellington.
Yes, Wellington's a nice horse. And Charene, do you have the same pick for here?
Yes, I do. I agree with Steve that number 2, Wellington, is having quite a good chance in the Chairman's Sprint Prize. We still remember that Wellington was not having a good start of this season, but starting from the middle of the season, he is doing better. Recently, he just scored 2 in a row, and then this time still facing some similar contenders in this Group 1. I think that Wellington is able to win again. And also, he just had his last preparation on last Friday, the 22nd of April. He did a really good gallop, showing that he is very fit currently. And also, Alexi Bedell is the best partner of this horse. I think that this time Wellington, jumping from gates 9, he can stay in a great position. Maybe he can stay in the midfield with some cover. And I'm looking forward to him to show some great turn of foot in the home straight. So number 2, Wellington for me as well.
Yes, Wellington's nice. I think Wellington is really the class of this race. Just a really strong contender. Let's see if he can get that hat trick here. I did go not with Wellington, but I went with the 6, Sight Success, with Pertnabor jumping from barrier 2. I mean, he's a really great front runner. He should just sit on the hip of the leader. Probably I see Computer Patch going out to the lead. There's a lot of speed in this race. It's going to be a really tough one, but he has a lot of great form and a lot of fast races here, coming against another one coming against a lot of familiar company. I think with Pertnabor, we're going to see a little different bit of a ride, but I think a really successful ride. He second place last time out, really, really close margins to Wellington. So we could see another maybe possible stretch duel between the 2 horses, and we'll see which one gets across the finish line first. So to sum up, race 6, the Group 1 Chairman's Sprint, we have Steve and Charene both on Wellington, and I am taking the 6, Sight Success. So let's go to the second Group 1 of the card, where we have race 8, the Group 1 Champions Mile. This is 1,600 meters. I feel like we might all be similar on our picks, but Steve, we're going to start with you.
Yeah, I started with number 1, G60, Golden 60. It was a change of tactics last time, wasn't it, by Vincent Ho, that the horse was much more prominent just off the pace. And I think because of that, Golden 60 had a much easier time of it. He didn't have to do a rather exhausting run from the rear of the field. And Vincent Ho, the horse was really on top at the end from Russian Emperor, of course. And yes, just a very good run. I think, and he's top rated as well. There's 8 runners. It was a close run thing last year, of course. He just won by a head from More Than This, who takes him on again. But it's hard to oppose Golden 60, isn't it? The interesting horse, of course, is at the very bottom, California Spangle. But a lovely progressive horse here from Tony Cruz Yard, but does have a lot to find on the ratings with Golden 60. And Excellent Proposal ran better last time as well. Joe Moreira on board showed a little bit more, but you would have to think if Golden 60 is as good as he was last time, that no matter what they try and do to get him out of his comfort zone, you would still like to think that Golden 60 will have too much ammunition for California Spangle and the rest of them at the end. I hope.
Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. And Charene, do you have the same pick?
Yes, right. I also agree that number one, Golden 60 is quite hard to beat in this field because last time it was really, really impressive. He can stay in a more front position. And then this time, jumping from barrier 2, I think that he can definitely get the rail and maybe staying in the midfield again. And I also think that it is good to see that there is an upcoming 4-year-old California Spangle join this group 1. But maybe it would be a bit tough for California Spangle because it is his first time to racing to face some strong the top horses in Hong Kong recently, and also all the contenders in this group 1 will be carrying the same weight, so maybe it will be a bit tough for California Spangle, but he is definitely a good horse having quite a good future. But this time I will still vote for Golden 60 again, so number one, Golden 60 for me in the Champions Mile.
Yes, and I am as well on one Golden 60. I agree with Charene. If we see that mid-pack placing like he did last time out, we're going to see him put on one heck of a performance. You know, usually he sits pretty far back in the mid-pack, but last time he was really sitting towards the front of it, and then of course made his signature move come into the stretch. And I just think it's tough. It's tough to not play him. A lot of great contenders here, but Golden 60 came back, and he came back fiercely. So I couldn't pick any other horse. So that is the race 8 Group 1 Champions Mile, and all 3 of us are on the one Golden 60. Now we'll go to the final Group 1 race of the card, which comes in at race 9, which was the QE2 Cup 2,000 meters or 10 furlongs. And I feel like we're all going to be a bit similar here as well. So Steve, who are you taking?
Well, it looks like a match, doesn't it? But of course, many times that doesn't transpire at all. Of course, you're left with egg on your face. But it does look like a match between the one horse, which is Russian Emperor, and my selection, number 8, Romantic Warrior. A fantastic horse, Romantic Warrior. He's 6 from 7. And first in the Classic Mile, 4th in the Classic Cup from a nightmare draw, barrier 13. And then he was first in the Derby. A hard race he had. I was rather concerned, maybe, could he be up for this again? But I was very encouraged to see an excellent trial just about a week or so ago, and where he split Beauty Joy and Duke Y over the Charene 1,600 meters. And it was an excellent trial. He finished in 2nd, almost hard held. I think the slightest push and he would have passed Beauty Joy, but you could see that just preserving the horse's energy for his assignment on Sunday. I think Russian Emperor will be tough to beat. Of course, he conquered Golden 60 in the City Hong Kong Gold Cup in February, and he did as well as could be expected last time in the Chairman's Trophy when he was back to the 1,600 meters, which doesn't suit him quite as well. And of course, he was second to a resurgent Golden 60. But I think youth on his side, Romantic Warrior, he's a young horse, he's progressive, he's got improvement, and he might just, for all that he has a bit to find with Russian Emperor, he might just be too good. So I'm going for number 8, Romantic Warrior.
Yes, what a beautiful horse. And Charene, who is your pick?
Yeah, I'm with number 8, Romantic Warrior as well, because first of all, I think that the quality of this year's Hong Kong Derby is quite good. So the winner, Romantic Warrior, this time competing in the QE2 Cup, he is also having quite a good chance. Obviously, the main threat will be number 1, Russian Emperor, but Russian Emperor has some setback before, but Romantic Warrior at the same time, he is up and coming and doing really well in the recent track work, and the barrier trial was just impressive recently. And also this time, maybe the pace in the QE2 Cup will be a bit slow. We only have Reliable Team and Kain Star will be leading. However, Romantic Warrior jumping from gate 4, I think that he can also stay in the front, maybe just behind the leader. So maybe it will be quite a good position for him. And then Russian Emperor will be staying beats back. So maybe the pace will be favorable for Romantic Warrior. So this time I will be looking forward to him. Number 8, Romantic Warrior.
Yes, and I am on Romantic Warrior as well. Just an unbelievable horse. I feel like the barrier draw sets him up perfectly. Like Steve had mentioned in the Hong Kong Classic Cup, he just could not get over that wide barrier draw. Still got a 4th place finish, but we're going to see something special out of this horse. Continued with his success that he had back in March, coming off of a really decent barrier trial and getting that barrier draw 4 again. We could see a monster here. And yeah, I agree with both of you that Russian Emperor is going to be quite the threat, but I have my faith here with Teton aboard, going to put on a really great performance here in the QE2 Cup. So, well, to sum that one up, all of us are on the 8, Romantic Warrior. So those are our selections for the Group 1 races of the card. It's going to be an exceptional racing here at Charene, but let's get into the best bets of the card. There are a lot of races, like I mentioned earlier, there's 11 races. So Steve, where is your best bet coming in?
Quite early on the card, race number 2, I went for number 1, Fun and Glory. Zach Purton on board again, drawn 10. He's a lightly raced horse. He got off the mark over course and distance last time under Zach. And barrier 13, a lot worse then. A worse gate than today. 10's not great, but I don't worry about these things over the 6 furlongs at Charene. And when he did win, it's a race that's working out rather nicely because the 4th place, August Moon, won next time out. And the horse that finished second to Fun and Glory actually finished second to August Moon. So it's a race that sort of worked out quite nicely. So for me, hopefully, I think Fun and Glory can complete back-to-back wins in race 2 under Zach Purton.
Yes, that is a nice horse, a very respectable horse. He improves so much each time he goes out, and I feel like just wows us with his ability here. I think we're going to see quite a lot out of him with Purton on his back. So I do think in race 2, that is a really great pick. I think you're going to see some dominance out of him here. And Charene, what is your best bet on this card?
And my best bet will be another last time winner in race 7, the class 3 over 1200 meters. I like number 3, Nikoni County, because we in Hong Kong that it is not easy for horses to win on debut at Happy Valley. However, at Nikoni County, he does it. Last time out, he made his Hong Kong debuts over Happy Valley at 1200 meters. Breaking from gate 3 at that time, he stayed at the back, and then he showed a great turn of foot to win it. And after that victory, he was sent to Chung Fa for some spell, and he's doing quite well over there at the track. Well, I see that this 3-year-old is improving, and this time moving to Charene, a bigger course will not be a concern for him, because this time he will also be breaking from a good draw, gate 3, and also with Karis Teton on board, I will be quite confident on him. So I hope that Nikoni County in race 7 will have a back-to-back win on Sunday.
Yes, fingers crossed. Really unbelievable debut here in Hong Kong for this horse. Really great racehorse. And I mean, in his Australian career, his last race in Australia, he had a really decent second to see you in the spring, and then comes to Hong Kong, has really strong barrier trials, and then debuts with an unbelievable win. Very talented, very, very talented 3-year-old here that we're going to see. And that is in race 7. And for my best bet of the card, I went to the final race, race 11, where we have the Silent Witness Handicap Class 2, 1200 meters or 6 furlongs. I took the 4 Cordyceps 6 with Blake Shin aboard. Jumping out of barrier 10 was the most perfect draw that this horse could have gotten. I mean, he's unbelievable. He really puts on a really great fight in that stretch. Probably one of the most talented 3-year-old sprinters we've seen so far, and just comes in and he wins. That's all he does is win. He has 2 back-to-back wins. So let's see if we can get that hat trick here. Really nice barrier trial, even out last time with Blake Shin aboard. So fingers crossed, we're going to see an exceptional. This is another field that I feel like is very, very tough. And you can make a lot of cases, I feel like, for most of this field. He might be one of the strongest, though, this 3-year-old, showing just such great improvement there as a sprinter. So to recap our best bets, Steve has the 1 Fun and Glory in race 2. Charene has the 3 Nikoni County in race 7. And I have the 4, Cordyceps 6, and race 11. So let's go to the final part of our show, our value bets. Steve, who is your value bet?
Well, I went to your race, the finale, race number 11, the Cordyceps 6 race, and I went with Lucky With You. And an interesting horse, Lucky With You. He was back to 6 furlongs or 1,200 metres for his last start. And he was 8th to Blaze Warrior. Came from barrier 12 that day under Caris Teton. A really wide trip he had, but he was still in there battling with 150 metres to go. I thought it was an excellent run. And three from 7. He's got a very good strike rate. He's almost like a forgotten horse. It was just 3 runs back when he finished an excellent second to Romantic Warrior, giving the winner £3. So an interesting horse, I think. I do think that Cordyceps 6 has a great chance. Up £9, but as you say, wonderful horse. 1-1-3-2-1-1 for his last 6 runs. How good is that? Blake Shin on board, of course. But yes, I mean, hopefully Lucky With You can run well. It'd be nice if he won, of course, but I don't mind him finishing a very close second to you if you want to get your best bet. But yes, for me, the Lucky With You as my value bet in the finale under Caris Teton.
Yes, Lucky With You is going to put on one heck of a performance. He's coming in at the lightest. I mean, he does stronger. He races a lot harder at a stronger pace, which is what we're going to see here, I feel. And we're going to see this horse really excel. I feel like he should lead the field here and could duel there with my Cordyceps 6. So fingers crossed, it's 1-2 for either one. I'm rooting for Steve and, of course, myself. And Charene, what is your value bet for the card?
My value bet will be in race 4. It is a class 4 over 1,400 meters. And my pick will be number 2, Light of Wenshi. I like this horse very much because he showed some potential last season when he was 4-year-old. And then this season, to be honest, it is a bit disappointing for me because he just had 1 winner in this season. However, he is quite lightly raced. He just have 5 starts so far in the season. So maybe in the late April, at that time, we are coming to the end of the season. So these kind of horses will always have some advantage. We can see that because he is lightly raced, and also Light of Wenshi just back from Chongfa. And then I quite like his farewell trial at Chongfa because he jumps really well, showing that he is quite fit. And also this time, I think that gate 10 will not be a big concern for him because we will be racing over the A course on Sunday. So usually the horses from wide barrier will not have any problem. So Light of Wenshi this time will be ridden by Matthew Chadwick. I'm quite confident on him, and hopefully he can have some good performance on Sunday. So my value bet will be race 4, number 2, Light of Wenshi.
I do like Light of Wenshi here. I feel like at one point I picked this horse so well, but I think that drop in distance we're going to see is going to help him out. He hasn't run this distance in quite some time. And really, you look at the last race, and I've always said with that February card, you could have, or that February race on February 20th, it was a yielding course, which really I think threw a wrench in a lot of horses' performances that day. But I don't feel like we're going to see that this time out. That strong barrier trial was really good to watch. He's showing really great improvement and really consistent form here on the Charene track. So I think you're going to see really nice performance out of him here. And my value bet comes in at race 1, the opening here at the Orient Express Handicap Class 4, 1,200 meters. And I'm taking the 8 Sight Hero. Jumping out of barrier 3 here. The last race wasn't the greatest here, but I feel like you can possibly draw a line out of it. But overall, his performance over this distance is really nice. Has a really great turn of foot, really shows a lot of great promise here. This horse always just seems to show up. He always puts in a really strong performance. We're going to see quite a bit. We got Hamlin aboard. This is another one that's a pretty decent field. There's about, I think, 14 horses in this field. So there's 16 horses, I believe. And he gets that interior draw, the barrier 3, which is perfect with a field this big. And he's shown that he performs a little bit better on either your mid or interior draws. I think you're going to get great value out of it just because his past performances are a little, he's not the most consistent, but he improves quite nicely and has a really good form across this track. So to sum up our value bets for this card, Steve comes in at race 11 with the 11, Lucky With You. Charene goes in race 4 with the 2, Light of Wenshi, and I have race 1, 8, Sight Hero. Well, those are our picks for this 11 card race on shot 10, an exceptional day of racing. And I feel like we have you covered with quite a lot of really good picks. So good luck to everybody, and we'll see you next time for Happy Valley. Bye-bye.